What is up? Welcome to the pod. So most body fat percentage testing methods leave a fair bit to be desired in terms of accuracy, especially if we are talking about things like bioelectrical impedance, which are those scales that you step on and or hold onto handles and they spit out a digit, or something like caliper testing, which requires a very skilled and consistent practitioner to do properly. Now, on the other hand, options like DEXA scans and even more so hydrostatic weighing, where you are submerged underwater, are definitely more accurate. However, I have never once sent a client of mine to get their body fat percentage tested, and I have never done it personally myself. I have had clients do DEXA scans just because they wanted to and they were curious about the results, but for the vast majority of folks, body fat testing is essentially pointless, and I will tell you why. Let's say that you go and get a DEXA scan and you walk into the test unsatisfied with your body composition, meaning you already know that you want to get leaner. There is nothing that test can tell you that will put you in a different position. Or in other words, you walk in unsatisfied and you walk out unsatisfied, even if the results of the test end up being better than what you expected. You are in the exact same position with or without that information. On the other end of the spectrum, let's say that you're happy with your body composition and you go with the hydrostatic weighing option and it spits out a number. And you're still happy with your body composition. And so what can that number really do for you? Also, worst case scenario here is that you're happy with your body comp. You go into the test with the expectation or desire of seeing a certain number. It then comes back higher than that, and all of a sudden, you feel unsatisfied. It's not rational, but it does play out that way for some folks in some situations. Now, I will say that some of these tests can tell you things about your muscle mass, bone density, etc., that can be helpful to know. However, in the context of body fat percentages specifically, unless you are someone that knows that they have fat to lose and is going to get that test and become extremely driven to reduce that number as a result because you are a quote-unquote numbers person, you may want to get tested. But most folks don't actually really care what their body fat percentage is. They just want to look and feel better. And fortunately, you don't even need to know your body fat percentage in order to take the necessary steps to make that happen. Meaning, said steps are the exact same regardless. And so instead of putting your time, energy, resources, etc., into getting your body fat tested, you probably just want to get started on your fat loss journey right away via dialing in your nutrition first and foremost, followed by your movement as well as sleep, and then manage stressors so that you can effectively execute on the first three pillars. Let's get more specific. Nutrition-wise, I would recommend heavily favoring single ingredient whole foods for the vast majority of your meals, because these foods are the most nutritious, the most filling, and the most digestion friendly. Examples of single ingredient whole foods are things like meat, fish, seafood, eggs, dairy, fruit, veg, rice, potatoes, nuts, seeds, etc. They just are what they are. They typically don't come in boxes or packages. They usually don't have barcodes, and they tend to spoil relatively quickly in comparison with most highly processed foods. They also don't contain ingredients that you can't pronounce. They are real food, quote unquote, manufactured by Mother Nature as opposed to in a factory. Also, I'd recommend prioritizing protein. And for most folks, getting about a gramish per pound of your body weight per day or a gramish per pound of your ideal body weight per day. And then feel free to fill in the remainder of your calories from carbohydrates and fats according to your personal preferences. Movement-wise, work up to 10,000 steps per day or 70,000 over the course of the week as a whole. Feel free, of course, to go beyond that, but that is my baseline movement target with my clients. And then, if you want to work out on top of that, bonus, even better. But formal workouts are not a requirement to lose fat and be healthy. They are a nice to have as opposed to a must have. On the sleep front, we want to wake up feeling rested and alert each day, ideally without an alarm, and almost certainly somewhere in the 7 to 9 hour per night range is going to leave you feeling great. And then finally, stress management. The most effective way to manage stress in a sentence is to control the controllables and surrender to the rest. Meaning, you can control all things you, i.e. what you eat, how you move, your sleep status, depending on whether you have young kiddos or not, your word, your priorities. All of these things fall under the controllable category. Everything else, i.e. the external stuff like other people, the weather, the economy, interest rates, what's going on the other side of the world, all of this stuff is entirely out of your control. And so there's just no use concerning yourself with it. And so instead, you can double down on what you can control, which will put you in the best possible position to handle the uncontrollable elements of life. Eating well, moving lots, and getting great quality sleep is the best stress resilience plan that you could possibly put together, because no matter how zen you are, if you are eating poorly, living a sedentary lifestyle, and not sleeping enough, you can't not be stressed out. It is a physiological impossibility. So to wrap up, no one cares what your body fat percentage is, and you don't need to either. Instead, just eat, move, and sleep in a way that reflects how you want to look, feel, and perform. Simple as that. Just like you don't walk around with your scale weight sharpied to your forehead, you don't walk around with your body fat percentage stapled to your chest. If you're interested in applying for one-on-one nutritional coaching and or workout design with me, you can click the link in the description below or head on over to n1fitness.com/coaching. If you're finding this info helpful and you'd like to, feel free to leave the pod a review on your favorite podcast platform, and you can follow me on Instagram at N1Fitness, on TikTok at the N1Fitness, and on YouTube at marcusadu/N1Fitness. If you'd like to stay up to date on the newest episode releases, you can hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you found this episode useful, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.